Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to be here with a group of individuals dedicated to preserving and interpreting history and our past. Tonight, I want to take us back to 1692 to Salem Village, Massachusetts, a place where fear, faith, and law collided in one of the most infamous episodes in American colonial history, the Salem witch trials. I'd like to do this through visiting the trials through the eyes of three remarkable works, all preserved in America's historical imprints. These texts by Increase Mather, John Hale, and P.E. and J.A. reveal that contemporaries wrestled with the meaning of the witchcraft accusations, the nature of the evidence, and the consequences of fear-driven justice. Our first voice comes from Increase Mather, arguably the most influential Puritan minister of the time. In 1693, he published Cases of Conscience Concerning Evil Spirits. At the height of the witchcraft panic, though, Mathers took a surprisingly cautious stance. He warned against relying on what was called spectral evidence, the testimony that a person's spirit or apparition had appeared to afflict others. Mathers argued plainly that it is not infallible and not sufficient alone to prove guilt. He insisted that it was better to let the guilty go free than to risk condemning the innocent. In many ways, his words planted an early seed for the principles of evidence and due process that would come to be a part of American history and law. Our second voice comes from John Hale, a minister in Beverly, Massachusetts, who was directly involved in the trials. A decade after, in 1702, Hale published a modest inquiry into the nature of witchcraft. His tone was deeply penitent. Hale admitted that he and others had been swept up in the darkness of the time. He wrote, "We walked in the clouds and could not see our way." This haunting reflection acknowledges that innocent lives were lost because ministers and magistrates allowed fear to obscure reason. Hale's work stands as both a confession and a warning and a reminder that even well-intended leaders can err when gripped by fear. Our third and final voice is more obscure but no less important. In 1692, two authors identified only as P.E. and J.A. published some miscellany observations in our present debates respecting witchcraft. This pamphlet took the form of a dialogue between two figures, S and B. Here we see skepticism emerging in real time. The authors questioned whether visions and accusations could be trusted at all. One figure even suggests that Satan might be deceiving the community and creating false appearances to ensnare the innocent. This small pamphlet is a powerful reminder that even at the height of hysteria, not everyone was convinced and some were already taking action. When we place all three of these texts side by side, three themes emerge. Increase Mather represents caution, John Hale embodied repentance, and P.E. and J.A. capture the skepticism. Together they illustrate how the Salem witch trials were not only a legal crisis, but also a theological and cultural one. They show us a society that, though deeply religious and earnest in its pursuit of the truth, was vulnerable to the dangers of fear and division. As we reflect on Salem today, the story remains more than just a grim chapter in colonial history. It serves as a cautionary tale. In the words of Mather himself, "It were better that 10 suspected witches should escape than one innocent person should be condemned." That principle, the protection of the innocent, even at the risk of letting the guilty go free, continues to resonate in our modern understanding of justice. The Salem witch trials remind us that history is not only about what happened, but also about the lessons carried forward, lessons of caution, humility, and the dangers of fear driven judgment. Thank you.